All right, guys, back with another LOL off-season story today. We're in the middle of off-season craziness, obviously, so wooloo and I couldn't exactly work everything out in terms of the scheduling and all that, but he has reached out to me with another big story today, and he's giving me all the details and stuff. So we're going to the solo Jerm video today, just like the good old days, and here's what wooloo has to say as far as the latest scoop in the LEC right now. He says that Maynter is set to join not as Vincier in the LEC for the 2026 season. Sources are telling Sheep Esports this. The 24-year-old Ukrainian top laner, he's about to turn 25 on December 15th. So I know, sometimes people are interested in age or curious about age, or, age matters more or less to certain people or whatever. He's 24, about to turn 25 before the next LEC season starts. He's going to be joining the league's only Ukrainian organization in NAVI. So that move makes perfect sense right there. That sounds good on paper. He recently just won the 2025 EMEA Masters Summer Split with KCB, defeating Los Heretics in the final. So, he's coming off of the peaks of the ERLs and now ready to take that next step into the LEC. And obviously, he's a player with a decent amount of hype behind him right now. So this is a very, very big pickup for NAVI, who obviously is a team that wants to make a little bit of a splash in the LEC, wants to start building up their fan base, wants to start, showing who they are in his organization, with this being, their first real true offseason going into a new calendar year in the LEC. So this is a big pickup, maybe a big piece for them to build around, and also an interesting story that also has, some other ripple effects around the LEC as well. So Maynter was also considered by other LEC teams, including SK, who eventually signed Wonder in the top lane instead, as previously reported by Sheep Esports, as well as Fnatic had also shown some interest here. However, NAVI were the first team to move in and aim to secure him. On the other side, the organization had other options on the table, such as Imperos from Gentlemates and Oscar, obviously now for Fnatic. If Fnatic was looking for top laners, Oscar's going to have to find a new spot. Oscar was considered here as well for NAVI. And he's been allowed to explore his options by Fnatic as well, which we covered in another video right here. So now the roster is beginning to take a little bit of shape. NAVI has already locked in 3 players for next season. They have the Turkish jungler Rylik, and then they also have Han Samdi locked up as well in the bot lane. So a couple of different nice pieces there. Still, need to fill in the rest of the roster, but it seems like they're at least moving in the right direction. Again, getting closer and closer to a full roster and getting some players that people are definitely really excited about. Again, I've been waiting for Han Samdi to get that big opportunity for a while now. I know people are really hyped up about Maynter right now. We'll see how this all goes, but there's some ways that this could end up working out really, really well for NAVI. And again, they weren't necessarily put in the best position with this roster to begin with, so having to, build and dig out of that a little bit is going to be interesting to see how all of that unfolds. So Maynter now joins the new iteration of NAVI, which will finally field the roster entirely of their own choosing. As a reminder, the Ukrainian org acquired Rogue's LEC slot at the end of the 2025 spring split, but had to retain the players and coaching staff under contract. Again, they had some big contracts. They had a roster that wasn't necessarily in the best position. They hadn't had, the best results as of late and stuff too. This wasn't like just a pickup, a roster that's ready to go and throw it out there and start winning games right away. This is something where they have to put the whole thing kind of back in motion and really figure things out, what's going to be their identity, how they're going to win games, how they're going to build a fan base in the LEC. So speaking of which, the coaching staff has also been completely revamped. The Rock as head coach, assisted by Lopan and Go21. In other roles, NAVI are still searching for the right profiles. As support, Malrong is not going to be part of this roster, and the team is still exploring the market for that position. The same goes for mid lane, where Larson's starting spot for 2026 is uncertain. More recently, Vladdy has also been at the center of offseason discussions, where NAVI among the teams showing interest in the Greek mid laner. Obviously, we know Vladdy has a very, very competitive kind of offseason market and stuff like that going on right now, so NAVI is going to be in the mix of all that. And again, that would be another very, very big piece to continue rounding out this roster, but, Vladdy's going to have a bunch of different options. We'll have to see how that all plays out. After several years competing across various ERLs, Maynter is finally stepping up to the LEC. He began his career in the LCL before joining an LFL Division 2 team in 2022, then moved to Team du Sud, I don't know how to pronounce all these names, with whom he won 2 splits and secured promotion to the LFL. He later joined KCB, claiming 2 LFL titles, spring 2024 and summer 2025. And the Flash-In tournament, and finally EMEA Masters. It's been a long road for the Ukrainian top laner, who had to play from his home country under difficult conditions due to the war and everything going on, and who repeatedly faced visa issues preventing him from joining the LEC. In an interview with Sheep Esports earlier this year, Maynter said, should I make it to the LEC, if it's not with K-Corp, representing a Ukrainian org like NAVI would be a dream. So, that dream has now become a reality for Maynter, and hopefully, a very, very nice pickup that NAVI and NAVI fans will be happy with as well. Hopefully, those KC fans will continue to support him into the LEC. Obviously not against our own team, but that would also be good, if he can get all that hype and excitement, fanfare coming into the LEC as well. But another very, very big piece, of the offseason puzzle coming together over in the LEC. And like I said, this affects a ton of other players as well, including the other pieces of the NAVI roster. It's got a little bit of Vladdy. It's got some of these different storylines and stuff coming together, but really excited to bring you guys the latest offseason news once again. And thank you to wooloo for breaking the story and sending this info over to us so we can get this video out to you guys. Pretty much over this one. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.